right, welcome. It's another day. It's another Your Daily Scrum. I'm professional Scrum trainer Ryan Ripley. That gentleman over there is professional Scrum trainer Todd Miller. We're jumping right back into it today, all week, every day, all day. It's about relationships. And today, Todd, we've got the product owner and developers. So the question is, and thank you to our, there was a person out there who watched yesterday who corrected my grammar. And so today we're better. How do the product owner and developers collaborate? So thank you for that. I had does, and now it's do. And now we know, and knowing's half the battle. I love it. We have Todd, actually in the comments, we get so many great comments, and that was just one of the many great ones. Like and subscribe, leave your comments. Let us know what you think about these videos. What do you want to hear about next? Your ideas turn into future Your Daily Scrums. It's pretty amazing. It's like magic. All right, Mr. Miller. Product owner and developers, pretty important relationship here. How would you expect them to collaborate?
Yeah, just for the record, I'm really digging this series and exploring how these interactions happen. I think that they're under discussed, and we have some good ideas from a class here. Some that we might add to or refine a little bit. But looking and thinking about how these roles collaborate, product owner and developers, there's some good points on this board, right? They collaborate to reduce risk, to make sure there isn't rework, right? There might be some timelines that they collaborate on if you have to come up with a release strategy or something like that. I really like this too. Create the product backlog.
Yeah.
So yeah, the product owner is accountable for the product backlog, but why would you not involve the developers in that? There's so much stuff to consider there, right? The order of it, things that are happening there. And oftentimes that'll happen in product backlog refinement where you might be creating or modifying. So yeah, that's my first look at this. What do you think?
The value really stands out. Like how can we collaborate on value? How do we propose increases in value? And I also see value in less rework. I'm a big fan of simplicity. The art of maximizing the amount of work not done is essential. I love that Agile principle. And so I'm seeing some great benefits here. You mentioned risk reduction, less rework, increased value, a refined and well understood product backlog. Man, these things, they sound like amazing things, but how many times do we run into classes where people are like, well, we don't want to work with the business every day, and we that feels like too intrusive. And it's like, no, this is a critical relationship.
It really is. It really is a critical relationship. And my eyes are starting to move over to what happens if they don't collaborate, right? And thinking about this, death marches, right? We talked about this in our book quite a bit. Thou shalt, right? The product owner as I forget what we call it, with the gavel, right? Sprint goals aren't clear, they're not met. The product goal will be missed, or maybe you don't even have a product goal.
Yeah.
No negotiation of scope whatsoever.
Sprint planning turns into a thou shalt. The product owner is saying, this is what you're going to do. Here's a sprint goal, get to it. And part of this activity, what I like when we run it in classes is I think people realize, the developers are not the order taker for a product owner, and the product owner is not just at the beck and call of developers. Like there's this respect element and this dynamic equality in this relationship that really has to be respected. And actually, it's really part of a Scrum Master's role to come in and foster that. Yeah. Right. And make sure that this is happening, because it's not a one above the other or one is lesser or greater. There's this dynamic equality here that really the product owner and the developers, they really need to be on the same page. They need to collaborate frequently. Otherwise, look at the mess that just happens all over your product. Can you actually ship if the product owner and the developers hate each other and refuse to work together, Todd?
Yeah, very likely not. Or you can ship, just probably not what the customer wants. And you pointed out something there that I think is really important, and I'm going to kind of rehash it again, maybe change the language a little bit. But right, these are two different accountabilities with two very different perspectives.
Yep.
The product owner, as we kind of joke around, right, wants more, right, is thinking customer first, thinking value, right? And that's all is going through your mind when you're a product owner, right? More and value and ship it. And I want to test the market. I want to see what's happening here. Developers going, whoa. quality. We got to build this thing right. We know there's going to be more stuff to it in the future, so we have to build it in a way that it's capable of that, right? And so that's like, there should be a good, healthy tension here, right? And and you pointed out too that the Scrum Master should encourage that, right? There's nothing wrong with tension in these conversations. It should just be healthy. And these are two very different accountabilities with two very different perspectives, but it's vital that they're collaborating, right?
Yeah, and that healthy tension is directed at solving a problem, not
correct.
directed at each other.
Yeah.
Right? That's what healthy tension means. They're both focused on the problem, not on scoring points against each other.
Yeah, 100%.
Very important relationship here, Todd, product owner and developers. Let us know in the comments. What do you think? How do your product owner and developers get along? What do those relationships look like? What have you done to help foster and grow and improve those relationships? We'd love to hear about that as well. Does this provoke any questions about Scrum in general? Leave them in the comments. We'll turn it into a video. Like and subscribe, do all those great things. Todd, I should probably pull up the end screen. There's all that stuff. The socials, we're pretty active on Twitter. I've been arguing lately. I shouldn't, but I do. LinkedIn, pretty active as well. I'll admit we're a little old for Instagram. We're trying to figure it out. But be sure to like and subscribe. Check out the videos below. Leave us your comments. We'd love to know what's next, what's important to you. And tell you what, we're going to go off and make some more videos. All of you have a great day. Do some great Scrum. We'll see you tomorrow.